Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday night. It's 7 o'clock, and we are live. Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday night. It's 7 o'clock, and we are live. Welcome to V-Talks. I'm your host, Veronica Brockwell. So this is the first night since we've changed the clocks that I've had the show. I swear it feels like it's midnight. I know it's not, but gosh, it's dark outside. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I have some amazing guests on tonight that are very excited to be here. I can't wait for you to meet them. The Best of Broadway is back with the New Bedford Festival Theater, and the ladies I have on tonight are executive producer Wendy Hall and assistant artistic director Elizabeth Bettencourt. So let's bring them onto the stream. We have Elizabeth.
Hello.
We have Wendy.
Hello.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Great.
How are you?
It's dark outside.
I know.
So for those of you who don't know where we live on the south coast of Massachusetts, and it's kind of Cape Cod, and it's like the little foot that sticks out into the Atlantic. So when the sun goes down, it's what, 4?
Yeah, I think it was 4 today, 4:30.
And it's 7 o'clock, so it just seems like it's 10.
Right.
Yeah, but we're adjusting.
We'll get there.
We'll get there, and we know that's a sign we got to hunker down for winter and all of that,
And start eating.
And yeah. So this is going to be different for me because there's 3 of us, but I think I have a good system to make this show work. So anyway, the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the New Bedford Festival Theater. And I'm going to go to Wendy for this. Wendy, I want you to tell our viewers exactly what this theater is.
Sure, happy to. So New Bedford Festival Theater is in its 32nd year. It was founded in 1990 by Armand Marchand. And the first artistic director and still current artistic director is George Charbonneau. Okay. So many people know George and Armand because they ran the New Bedford High School Drama Club for 30 years. And what happened is in the 90s, the ZEITERION was producing summer shows, and they would do 3 shows in a summer. And George and Armand would direct them as co-directors. Okay. And I was actually in the very last show that the Z produced in 1989. I was 16 and did Chicago, Guys and Dolls in Oklahoma. And after that, the ZEITERION decided not to produce summer shows anymore. And George and Armand, just said, we're going to do it. We're going to create a professional theater company, and we're going to continue doing this in the summer because they were still teaching at New Bedford High School. And by God, they did it. They decided in April, and we opened with La Cage aux Folles in July of 1990. We had original Broadway sets and costumes. We had a full cast. I was also in that show doing like 8-minute dance numbers along with, industry professionals. And it was wild, but hugely successful. So we've been doing this ever since then. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is that I took over in 2019. And we could talk a little bit more later about how COVID affected, my, infancy of my tenure. But What we decided to do this year and what's different is I've decided to go from one summer show to 5 shows year round.
That's fantastic.
Yep. So definitely a go big or go home. And that's where we are right now. So we're season 32.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And Elizabeth, you've been involved with the organization for a bit of time as well.
I have. I also had my first professional time on stage with New Bedford Festival Theater way back. I think it was 1995. It was the Pirates of Penzance. I was in high school. I was a 16-year-old, and I performed for about 9 or 10 seasons with New Bedford Festival Theater through my late teens and early 20s. When I was in college getting a theater degree, I would come home for the summers and I would luckily be cast again to perform with them. And I don't know, it was, I always like to say, I feel like I kind of grew up with the New Bedford Festival Theater, and then went, like Wendy, I kind of went on and did other things professionally and personally. And now I've been back officially involved with the company for a few years on the board of directors. And now I'm assistant artistic director. And it's like coming home. It is.
Sure.
It's a thrill to work with the company.
And Liz, can you tell us some of the past performances that they have done?
Oh my gosh. Well, you heard Wendy say we're in our 32nd season. So we've had quite a lot.
So maybe not all of them.
I'll give you a few highlights, I think. Well, I will say our last huge show before COVID shut down the theater industry for a while was Mamma Mia. That was sort of our last really, really big musical. It was a smash success. I think we broke all our, is that correct, Wendy? We broke all our box office records.
All the records.
Everyone loves Mamma Mia, and it was like a really exciting summer. We've done Les Mis, we've done
Hairspray.
Robbins, we've done Hairspray, we've done Grease. We've done so much. Grease, Cabaret, Chicago,
West Side Story.
West Side Story. Yeah, it's
wow.
We've done so many. We've won awards for many of them, and every single one has had both local talent cast and talent that has worked on Broadway. We cast actors who have been on national tours. Our creative staff often has Broadway and national tour credits. So it's really, really exciting to see it all gel together when you have the local talent plus people who live from further away, and everyone kind of comes together for this. I mean, we're a professional theater company. So we rehearse for about 2.5 weeks. 3 weeks, and then the show goes up. I mean, it's very, very tight, and you just learn a lot in a short amount of time and work really hard and put on fantastic shows.
And Wendy, you spoke a little bit earlier about your partnership with the Z, and then that dissolved, but we're back on with a Z, right? The ZEITERION.
Right.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, the ZEITERION, like this is like going way back in the 80s, used to produce their own shows. And then when they stopped doing that, that's when Armin and George formed the company. So we are the resident company. We are the resident theater company at the ZEITERION. And we're very happy to be a part of the Z in terms of theaters, just in terms of the building. I mean, there's really nothing like that, within close proximity to us. When we bring people in from their first time at the Z, we try to tell them, it's a city block. It's a 1,200 seat house. And I don't think people really comprehend till they see the building and they're like, wow, this is like a real theater. Especially with our history doing summer theater, many, many times. And I did it as well. I mean, you do summer theater in a very small space. I did summer theater in a barn up in New Hampshire.
Yeah, yeah.
And, that's usually what the feeling of summer theater is. So we have a unique opportunity, especially with our big splashy musicals in the summer, of giving people the experience of being in a Broadway theater.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it really is.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And I can't, I'm sure Liz can speak to this. Until you stand on the stage and see 1,200 seats
I want to.
Oh, it's a thrill.
No,
and
but can I? When I come? Yeah. I mean, before anyone gets there.
It's a thrill to share the ZEITERION with people who are in our productions, who are coming in from out of town and don't know what to expect. I mean, just in our last production that we just did, the last 5 years, I was there when the lighting designer we hired, when he first came into the theater, I was there and we were getting ready for the rehearsal for the day. And he just stood on the stage and he was like, oh, like this theater is gorgeous. This theater is beautiful. And he's asking questions. I mean, and this is someone who's worked in
everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere. And he's asking, tell me about the pictures that go along the top. And it's such a proud thing in New Bedford to have that theater.
Right. And we are honored to be the resident theater company. The New Bedford Symphony Orchestra, they're the resident symphony. So we have, there's 3 organizations within the building. And, like Liz said, it's really great to not only bring people to the Z, but also to bring, the community to the Z to see, high quality productions, of course, with us and with what the ZEITERION brings in, and, with NBSO, it's a vibrant cultural landmark. But that's living and breathing because, there's shows going on all the time. And, our residents and community always have an opportunity to see something that's really good. And we take a lot of pride in that.
So Elizabeth, I want to kind of dig deep a little bit and talk to you. Well,
deep dive.
I want to deep dive. So
let's do it.
I know you got it. So I want to know what goes into a production from beginning to end. So how does the process work?
It is a team effort. I'll start by saying that it is a strong team that starts off. Certainly, Wendy as producer is involved in a lot of. She's involved throughout, but a lot of the beginning stuff is producing. So you need to choose your season. You need to choose your show. You need to apply for the rights to that show because there are licensing companies that own the rights. So you have to make sure that the show you want to do is available. And once you get the go ahead on that, then you can start figuring out, you need to know your show dates. You need to coordinate with the theater, and you need to set up your creative staff. So now you've got to hire your director, your designers from lighting designer, costume designer. You need to figure out whether you're going to be building your own set or renting a set from another theater company, and how much is that going to cost, and what's the budget for this whole production. And you have several production meetings with that kind of staff before you even audition the actors. You're talking about your concept. You're talking about what you want it to look like, what you want it to feel like. Why are you doing this show? What do you want the feel of it to be and the tone of it to be? And you're all getting on board. And then you post the casting call, and then you have the auditions, and then you audition hundreds of actors. And you have them sing and dance and read from the script, and you narrow it down, and you have callbacks.
So is this just like very traditional where somebody's sitting in the audience and they're up on stage? Is it like that?
That's how it works.
You'll have a panel of the
not everybody
staff.
knows.
And you get called up if you're auditioning in person, which traditionally has been how it goes. You get called up on stage and you are asked to sing 16 bars of music. It's not very long. That's a little tidbit. You don't sing a whole song at auditions. You just sing 16 measures, which is pretty short. So you've got to really show your stuff in that time. And then you'll sometimes you're asked to dance first. Sometimes you're asked to sing first. I think it depends on the show and whether it's singing heavy or dancing heavy. And then recently we've auditioned online. We've done virtual auditions because of COVID. So that's a whole other system of figuring out, how to get a feel. We cast our last show purely with virtual auditions. And boy, we lucked out because our two actors, we did just a 2-person show to start off our season. And our 2 actors were phenomenal and had great chemistry. But it was a different challenge to audition them online because we weren't in the same room with them. But anyway, that's the whole shebang. That's everything that happens before you even start rehearsing.
And
there's a lot that goes on before you are all in the room together learning songs and learning dance numbers.
And then once you start rehearsal, it's almost like that's when the train leaves the building. And everybody just has to be, on board. Many, almost all professional actors learn their music before, before day one. They learn their lines before day one. Choreography is a little different because that's something you have to do on your feet. But, the amount of prep work that goes into even, just getting to the first day of rehearsal, I mean, it's years. I mean,
really?
Because
what's a timeline?
Like, for instance, with Mamma Mia, Armand waited for 3 years to be able to get the rights to it. Because if it's on Broadway, if it's touring, if another theater is doing it within a certain time frame and they're within a certain mileage of you, then you have to wait. So there can be quite a shuffle. We have a tentative show for next season that I applied for 18 months ago.
Oh, wow.
And it's still tentative. You still sort of can't put all your eggs in that basket until you get the final. Yeah. So there's a lot of dreaming. There's a lot of like, what shows do we want to do? And we're
manifesting.
We're thinking 3-4 years out, but you can't solidly plan.
We Liz and I have a tentative season for 24-25.
Okay. All right. So
I mean, it's that far out.
So you get the licensing rights and then you start the production process. How long does that take generally?
I would say about a year.
Okay.
From So what we do is we work backwards, right? So our rehearsals start July 1st. Okay. So everybody has to be cast no later than May 1st. But typically, if you have an audition season where all the theaters are auditioning at once, well, you want to make sure that your audition dates don't conflict with like a local or semi-local, meaning Boston or Providence.
Yeah.
You certainly don't want to be auditioning on the same day because then people have to choose. But so So auditions for summer shows happen in January.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. And you also need to snatch up those actors and get them contracted and get them to sign those contracts, because you don't want actors who are actors are constantly auditioning. So, you need to get them signed and sealed. Yeah, you're going to be with us in July as soon as you can, because that's when everyone else is auditioning too for the summer. So it can get
you don't think about that, but there's so many people that have so many productions that are auditioning all the time.
Right. And so historically, we do a local audition at the Z, and then we do an audition in New York City, And then we also go to the New England Theater Conference, which is a big theater conference. That's at the beginning of March. And we go to that, and there's like 300, candidates there. And then from all of these different sources, you see whatever, 500, 600, 700 people. You have to, well, now remember, everybody has to agree, right? So the director has to agree with the music director, and they have to agree with the choreographer. And
there's gonna be plenty of moments where
American Idol.
Yeah, it feels like that.
It's funny because I won't watch American Idol. I won't watch So You Think You Could Dance and everybody says, "Well, why don't you?" And I said, because that's my job.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch anybody like in front of me that I have to judge.
Well, you both have been there yourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think that's good, right? Because, you're I'm sure very respectful, and I'm sure there are people that you would love to cast, but you just can't because you don't agree and you feel bad, but at the end of the day, you only have so many spots available, right? So
yeah,
I mean,
I think we're extremely respectful.
I
don't think that's always the case for actors, but for us, we're very respectful. We understand what it's like to be on the other side of that audition table, and sometimes it is heartbreaking when you get attached to someone in an audition, but you know that for whatever reason it's not going to work. They don't quite have the high note that they need for that character. And you've already gotten so attached to another aspect of them, like their acting skills or something.
Right.
And it's hard, but you have to be able to just sort of make the cut. Like Wendy said, you see like 600-700 actors. There's got to be a way to narrow that down.
I always say, we want you to be good. Right? Like don't be nervous. Like we want you to be awesome. Like we want you to be good. We're not sitting here wanting you to fail, so
if you're good, our job is so much easier.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't you think a lot of times it's because people are nervous?
Oh. Yes. So after years and years, oh, this person is just nervous, or no, maybe their voice, like maybe this role just doesn't sit right with their voice. They might have a beautiful voice, but for this, one particular role, like it's just not like your sweet spot. But and the other thing, and this 100% happens, is that we keep people mental file and resumes on file, or people I see on Facebook when we have things coming up. I certainly text Liz and be like, oh yeah, what about so and so, and she's many times be like, yeah, that's a great idea, and then that person has ended up like working with us in some facets. So
right. So I hate to go down this path, but we really have to talk about the last year and a half.
Yes.
And how COVID has affected the industry. So I don't know, Wendy, you guys can both.
Sure,
I let you both chime in. You guys work.
This has definitely been Wendy's struggle, I think, most of anyone else, because she's the producer, so she's really in charge of a lot of the business ends. So
right. So we were going to produce Annie in July 2020. It was to be my first like fully produced musical at the Z. I signed my executive producer contract on August 1st, 2019. In the fall, we did a really successful alumni show, and Liz and I co-directed that, and I produced that, and it was great. Everybody loved it. Huge crowd in the audience, and we were chugging away, and we did our auditions in New York City, and we did our auditions in New Bedford, and we did our auditions in Boston. And actually, when we auditioned in Boston, that was right when the first outbreak happened in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And I remember being there, and, people were like, oh, what about this COVID thing? And, like people were starting not to shake hands, but, everyone was still like awkward about it. Like, oh,
Sure.
And then we got back on Monday, and then on Friday, I was sitting in the office, and that's when I saw that, because many of my friends work on Broadway in different Broadway shows. And I, saw the news, the press say, Broadway is closed down. So I quickly started texting my friends and, what's going on? What's going on? What do you know? And they said, we were just told to leave. Like, we were just told to get up and leave.
Yeah.
Everyone's personal, belongings, their lunch, everything just stayed. They walked out. And I mean, I have a very interest in science. My dad is a scientist, and, my sons are all, science and math kids. So I just started looking at it like very scientifically and thinking, this is not going to happen this July. There's just, there's no way. This thing it's a plague. And so had to make the call to postpone the show. And, everybody understood. I do have to say, like, our patrons are just so wonderful, like, because we postponed it, and then we had to postpone it again. And so many people hung on to their tickets. A good percentage of them donated their tickets back to the organization. People have been so generous and so just warm and understanding that makes, takes some pressure off me. And then we had a lot of time to sit around and think about, like, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? I had always wanted to expand the season. And I just thought, well, let's just do it slowly. Let's try a 2-person show, and then two one night shows, and then a little bit bigger, and then the big show in July. So that's where we are now. We produced our first musical the last 5 years. That was in October 22nd and 23rd. We were able to, well, the other thing is, of course, the COVID regulations within our own company, our own staff, our actors, it was, we needed a COVID compliance officer. We needed testing, as you would any, in-person business. Our staff has to be vaccinated, checking off all those boxes. So we were really successful. Everybody was cooperative. The audiences were fabulous. At the Z, the mandate is you need to show proof of vaccination to enter the building. You also have to wear a mask the entire time unless you're eating or drinking.
So this is this now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to know. So how it is now. So if you go and see a performance now, when you go and see a performance.
Yes.
You will be required to.
Yes. To show proof of vaccination.
Right. And you wear a mask.
You do have to wear a mask, yes.
Regardless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you're actively eating or drinking. But our first shows don't have an intermission. So it kind of takes a little bit. I mean, these are the same protocols that Broadway is following. I mean, We're not doing anything different. But for the most part, everybody, I think everybody's kind of used to it. And, people want to get back to, I mean, obviously it's not going to go back to before. It's going to be something new, like a new version of what before was.
I think we're just grateful to be able to do these things.
Yes.
And I think most people are willing to comply in order to be a little bit normal right now.
We've had, I mean, I haven't run into any, flack about what is required of people. I mean, our own staff is doing it.
Well, you're sitting very close to one another in there. It's
Yes.
not like you're outside.
Correct.
Correct. So that it makes a lot of sense to do that. And
right.
My question is, during COVID though, you guys were still working, you were just working virtually, right?
So we were working, and we did a few cool things. We did, Liz, I'll talk about the performance. And then
Liz was laughing. So what kind of cool things are we talking about?
I'm just remembering, it already seems like a long time ago when we were just fully in virtual mode and thinking about what can we pull together to keep our name alive and to keep ourselves in the public eye. So Wendy, you can.
So in April, we did a virtual show. It was called To Broadway with Love. And we had actors, almost all of them were alumni, and people who have performed on Broadway, who have performed in national tours. And so we just, Liz and I got together and we were like, what songs do we want to hear? Like,
oh yeah. There were a lot of FaceTimes between Wendy and I, a lot of Google Docs.
Right.
I like this song. And we started thinking of it because it was going to be just a review. We were filming actors from their homes separately, so everyone was being assigned solos, and then we also did some duets, even though that they weren't. We had an amazing video editor who brought their screens together to do a duet recording. And it kind of turned into, well, what shows do we want to do in the future? And we were starting to pull songs from those shows. So it actually, I think it was like a really hopeful time for us, because at least we were always looking ahead.
Right.
Even when we were virtual.
Right. And Samantha Johnson, who is a local girl who has gone on to much bigger things. She came on and she did a song from the musical Ragtime, which just I like, in the industry we'd say like she destroyed, and we made that in like the best possible way. I mean, it was just insanely flawless. And she also sang a song from The Wiz. She sang Home from The Wiz.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, even now it's like,
that's awesome.
So it was great. And like Liz said, everybody worked virtually. Everybody self-taped themselves. And then we had an amazing audio and video editor, and he worked his magic, and like you didn't hear from him for like 5 days, and we're like, is everything okay? Like, do you think everything's okay? And
I was like, I don't know. And then we'd get this email from him, and it would be like all these edited, gorgeous.
Yeah, he's songs, like first pass, and we're like, oh my God, like he just, was working magic. So that, that's also different, because, we're used to seeing progress day to day, hour by hour. You're in the rehearsal room, you're all together, and you see it progress. And when you do video, you don't get that, you just, you see takes, and then there's no Angelo. We're like, is he okay?
What was also so great about that, though, is that we were giving work to actors who were out of work. I mean, even the video editor that we're talking about, Angelo, who we loved so much, he's an actor. He was in Aladdin, right? On Broadway.
He's in Aladdin on Broadway.
Yeah. Wow.
But everything shut down, and then he had these video editing skills, and someone we had worked with previously recommended him to us. So it was was exciting to give people work.
Yes.
And yeah, it was just, I'm glad we're not still there, but we did what we had to do.
Yeah, you kept it alive. You just kept moving forward, and you were still, doing what you love and helping each other out and trying to still put on performances under these highly unusual conditions. So that's really awesome, But now we are back in business.
Yes.
And we are at the ZEITERION. So I'm going to kind of go through here the performances that we have coming up.
Sure.
So the one here that I see that's the soonest.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. So Professional Christmas Lady is it's a drag show, and it is John Michael Dias, who is a local celeb, and he has gone on to play Frankie Valli and the Jersey Boys on Broadway. He played Neil Sedaka in Beautiful on Broadway, has this just amazing facility, just like outstanding facility. And he's also an extraordinarily talented costume designer. And so his, he does drag, and his drag name is Evita Loca. And she performs at Stonewall in New York City and on Fire Island in New York, and is currently in does a weekly virtual show, and also has picked up another Monday night gig in Hell's Kitchen. So we had John, come in. And so Liz and I have also known John for like years and years and years and years and years. Like, knew him before he was John Michael Dias.
I would say John before he was John Michael Dias, Broadway star. I would say I don't want to miss, but I'm pretty sure his first professional gig was New Bedford Festival Theater as well. It must have been. He was so young.
Okay.
Yeah, to open back up. Yep.
Yeah.
So we reopened the Z on June 5th. And we brought John in as Evita Loca, and he did a show called Professional Broadway Lady. And that was the first time patrons were allowed back in the Z since March of 2020. It was also a kickoff to Pride Month for us. And it was so much fun. He sings all of his own music, which sometimes drag performers don't do. So he sings Meadowlark. He sings what's that Megan? Oh, Me Too by Megan Trainor. He sings he sang Natural Woman. He did a duet with himself.
Oh my goodness.
So So he taped a videotape of himself as John. And so he's singing as Evita, and with himself on the video doing a duet. And so
I'm totally going.
You have to.
No, I'm going.
You have to go.
He'll be singing all these holiday songs as Evita Loca, and let me tell you, Evita Loca is gorgeous. She is dressed to the nines, head to toe, beautiful, beautiful wardrobe, hilarious, super entertaining. Like, this to me is the night. Like, you go out, get yourself dolled up, come into the Z, have a cocktail, get ready for Christmas or your holidays. Like, it's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
We need to bring him on.
Yes.
It's coming up.
Yes.
Right? We gotta figure that out, because we need for people to see that and meet her.
Yes.
And I'm so excited. I love it. So that's December 3rd.
Yes.
Okay. So then we have December 4th.
Yep.
And
Yes.
Andy.
The Randy
Andy
Andys.
Randys. The Andy Randy's candies.
The Randy Andys.
I kept typing it. I'm like, did I?
More Broadway talent, more people who have
Yes.
worked on Broadway, singing holiday songs.
Yep. So this is
okay.
they're a girl group, and they do a postmodern jukebox performance a la the Andrews Sisters. So it's three ladies, super tight harmonies. They have two guest stars that drop in and do a couple of solos with the ladies.
Right.
This is the creation of, or the group was created by a woman. Her name's Allison Mahoney, and she's actually a Cape Cod native. Now she lives in New York.
Okay.
She's also known as the Singing Baker. She was on Food Network Cupcake Wars, and she does baking spots on CBS and the Today Show in the morning. And these are, they're all Broadway ladies, Broadway, divas. And they actually have a rotating, they have about 8 women in the cast. So it depends on, if you're in a show, well, then you're not available. And so they kind of rotate the ladies who's singing. So they're super fabulous. It's more traditional family show.
Right.
If you're looking for something that's, not as sassy as Evita, this is definitely a very kid-friendly show. I saw the set list. They do all the classic holiday songs.
Nice.
That you want to hear. And it's a little, it's a classic 1940s Christmas or holiday evening.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
Yep.
All right, then we're kicking it out to 2022.
Yes.
There we go. And I know the dates are more than that. There's the 7th, 8th, 9th. I don't know.
7, 8, 9, and 10. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Little Shop of Horrors. This is, you can't see it, but right beyond me, there's my whiteboard there. And I have all these shows, like my wish list shows of shows I want to produce. And Little Shop is on there, but it's got quotations because it's already been taken. So like when I cross off a show off the list, I get really excited. Like, yay, I did that. But Little Shop, really, really excited to do it. It's a really amazing show. It's a smaller show, 8 people, just an 8-person cast. It's got a rockin' band, and it's something that has not been done in this area, like at all. So we're really excited to be, to do the premiere of Little Shop, and it's actually off Broadway right now. But why go to New York? You can come to the Z. Come see Festival Theatre's production, and we're gonna have the plant and yes, all of it. I think it's gonna be a really, really rockin' time.
I think it's gonna be so fun. It's such a cult classic. People know it. They know the movie, but like Wendy said, has not been produced around here. And God, I'm so excited for this one. This is definitely a bucket list, I think, for both Wendy and I to put this show up there. And it's like really different. It's rock, pop music. It's going to be so great.
And our music director from the last 5 years, his name's Andrew Austin, is coming back to work on Little Shop. He is, this was his first time ever in New Bedford or in this area when we did last 5 years, and he fell in love with the area, fell in love with downtown New Bedford.
He fell in love with the Whaling Museum.
Well, it's
so into it.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah. And Cultivator Shoals.
Yes.
Little shout out to them.
Right,
And
exactly.
sure.
So he's actually done Little Shop 8 times. He's music directed it. So, when he was, when he was here, Liz and I were sort of like, oh yeah, we have, doing Little
I was like,
Shop.
don't you just love Little Shop of Horrors? Wouldn't you love to work on that again? And he's just this genius.
He has a doctorate in music
He
from
just sat down and
Johns
started
Hopkins.
banging it out on the piano.
That was the last thing he did before he left the stage for the last 5 years. Everyone, we're striking the set and everything's going back and clearing everything away, and he was just strolling around, and he went over to the piano and he went and he was like, yeah, okay.
I love it. All right, so Little Shop. Well, I'll be there too. Little Shop. I'm gonna be at all your
Mark
shows
your calendars.
now. I know. I know. I'm excited though. This is so great. All right, next one.
It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, you get
sing it, Liz.
You get to knock this one out. Go ahead.
I
want 16 bars.
What a student Veronica is.
Yes.
This is, as Wendy likes to call it, this is our big fat musical.
Yes.
Right. It doesn't get bigger than Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Talk about, it's got everything. It's going to have your big dance numbers. It's going to have the huge ensemble numbers, all that awesome singing. You're going to have the costumes for Beauty and the Beast. It's worth seeing just for, how did they get that person to look like a spoon and to look like a whisk? And, they're all dancing around.
Right.
Obviously, it's an amazing family show. My own 2 children are already talking about it. They cannot wait. So,
and fun fact, so this is the second time that Festival Theater has done Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. We haven't done it in 16, 17, 18 years. But we do have somebody on this call who is in the previous production. Her name's Liz.
Yeah. I was actually the very first time New Bedford Festival Theater did Beauty and the Beast is the last time I was on stage performing with the company. So yes, I was silly girl number 2 who sighs after Gaston and never gets him. And I was also a spoon and various other objects. But no, it's honestly, I love the show because it actually is sort of written as it's sort of written to feature a singing ensemble, which I was a part of, and then it also features a dance ensemble, and everyone's talents really shine in the way that the book and the score are written, and it has everything. It's the singing and the dancing, like I said, it's just one number after another.
Right. I can't wait.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's going to be fabulous. So this is very exciting, and I'm sure you have more on your whiteboard, Wendy. That
I
do. You are that we're not allowed to see that board, are we?
Not yet.
You don't want to just.
No, that's like my diary.
All right. So we won't press the issue, but these are shows are on their website. I have the website scrolling, by the way, on the bottom, nbfestivaltheater.com. And you can also go to the ZEITERION website too and see the shows that are coming up. So something else that I wanted to talk to you about is your Summer Academy. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Our Summer Academy is a program that we offer every summer, free of charge to South Coast area teenagers. It's been around for quite a long time, and it just keeps growing. Traditionally, we offer the opportunity for local teenagers to come right into the theater They work backstage on the production. They work as stage crew. They work as costume crew. They work as, assistants to professional staff members like the lighting designer and the sound designer and the stage manager. They are right there working with industry professionals, and it's a learning experience. It's the definition of hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
And,
do you have to be a teenager to
yeah. You do, but we are always looking for volunteers, so watch out what you say. But we also recently have started offering, in addition to doing that hands-on work, we offer workshops for the students over the course of the summer. They learn from a lot of the cast members. Will run workshops on, acting techniques, or they'll run a dance workshop, or we've done improv workshops. We've done stage combat workshops for them. And now we've also added an opportunity for them to have a performance opportunity for themselves. And we do a summer academy production. Last year we're really focusing on social justice theater for our summer academy productions, because it's actually it's been around forever, but it's definitely growing. It's seeing a new light these days. And last year we did a production of the Laramie Project for our summer academy production. It's the story of the hate crime murder of Matthew Shepard in Laramie, Wyoming. And it raises a lot of issues about the LGBTQ plus community. And we were proud to do that production. We worked with the New Bedford
South Coast
LGBTQ Association, and they came in and spoke to the kids, and we talked about LGBTQ plus struggles on the South Coast, still to this day. And the kids got up there and poured their heart and soul into this piece. And we kind of did it as half the traditional play and half what's called devised theater, where the kids kind of wrote their own monologues that were sprinkled throughout the actual traditional version of the Laramie Project. And they talked really openly and bravely and beautifully about their own experiences in the LGBTQ plus community, and what it was like for them as 2021 teenagers. And it was quite a production. We were able to they were able to perform it at the ZEITERION on the Z stage, which was, it was heartbreaking and gorgeous. And some of them got up there, and I still remember one of the actors looked at Wendy and I and said, "I can't believe I'm standing on this stage." And, he was just like overcome, which I think Wendy and I can relate to. I remember feeling as well. And the Summer Academy is just really, really important to us. We want to have that kind of outreach to the community. We want to give kids that kind of opportunity. And so far, so good. We just keep growing with it.
And so if you're interested in learning more about that, or, how would one sign up to do that?
Right. We contact all the local high school theater teachers and drama club advisors, usually in the spring, with information that they can disseminate to their students about getting involved. And we also post all that information on our website as well.
Yeah, that usually happens in late March, where we'll start putting together. So they have to go through an application process, and they also have to get a recommendation from one of their teachers, and then each one of the candidates are interviewed by us, and then we usually have around 25 25 kids over the 4 weeks, and now it's a little bit longer. It's probably be about 5 or 6 weeks. Also, in addition to the social justice piece, for the past 2 years, at least virtually, we've done a music theater workshop piece.
Mm-hmm.
So kids who are, want to perform, we have given them an opportunity to do workshops with college professors, one from Emerson College, and they work through performing a piece, and at the end they were able to perform them. Again, it was virtual the past 2 seasons, but hopefully we can bring that back as well. So really our summer academy had two pilot programs, the music theater performance workshop and the social justice piece, and we're bringing them back. So these teens are going to have, again, it's tuition free.
Wow.
This is absolutely free to them, and the kids that work on the show at the end actually get a stipend. So
oh wow, okay.
Yep. So we recognize them for all of their hard work that they've done, and
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's important. It's important to when you work hard, it's important to say, we recognize that, and also here's a stipend for your time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And, you had spoken earlier about having casting calls for your different productions. How do you go about doing that if somebody is interested in auditioning and singing 16 bars for you?
So
on the stage.
So that's a very good question.
Oh,
so in a couple of weeks, probably in early December, we will be releasing on the website and also on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, all of the information for auditions, whereas we might still be in a hybrid where it might still be online auditions for some roles and then in person for others. We're still trying to figure that out because things really aren't, you have to think, like, we have 200, a lot of times we'll have 200 people come to the call.
Sure.
And, we want us to be safe. We want you to be safe. We want everybody to be safe, but we'll have more definitive information about that in early December.
And same with anyone when you're looking for production people and all of that.
Yep.
It's on your website, on your socials. That's where.
Yep, website and our socials. We also post a lot on like Greater Boston. So on Facebook, there's a bunch of local theater pages. So we post
Boston
on
actors,
Greater Boston freelance, and then Liz, what's the other ones that you post on?
Oh my gosh, there's like a South of Boston theater Facebook page. There's one that's more Fall River based. I think it's called the Green Room. Those are the 2 big ones that I usually hit up.
Well, I will certainly share it now that I'm following you guys, so it'll cross my feed too. So we'll get that information out there. And then the next thing I want to talk to you about is membership.
Yes. So you can become members of Festival Theater, and every membership so membership levels have their perks. You can get free tickets to shows at different member levels, and every membership over $50, you get 20% off each ticket you buy.
Oh, great.
So built-in savings there. So you can, and our membership levels are on our website as well. You just, the drop down says members, and you can become a member that way. You can also call our office at 508-991-5212. Or you can also email us through the website or on Facebook, where, we're very responsive. We're a very responsive group.
And We have to talk about our sponsors because we need them.
Yes.
For sure.
Yep. So there's, many sponsorship opportunities of all different levels. Right now, Town Square Media is one of our corporate sponsors, and we're still, getting the word out. Again, this is the first time we've ever done five shows. So, a lot of people are,
I'm so happy. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Festival Theater was the summer. Well, it was, and it is, but
now it's more.
I love it.
Now it's more. Yes. So there's sponsorships as levels as well on our website. And you can come on as an individual sponsor, but if you have a company, you can come on as a corporate sponsor, and you get all sorts of free perks, tickets to parties, and our undying love and support.
You get to stand on the stage.
We might have to auction that off.
Right?
And auction off a role.
Little walk-on feature.
Yeah.
Oh, like you could be a spoon.
Right.
You can't be in the front. No, you can't really do anything. You're more just like a prop spoon. I know, but I bet people would love that.
And like Liz said, we're also always looking for volunteers. We have a lot of events coming up. Actually, if you come to see one of the holiday shows on the 3rd or the 4th, we have just an open caroling time where you can grab a drink and have a little snack and sing some carols before or after the show. That's in the Pendler space, which is in right off the ZEITERION lobby.
Yeah. Well, that sounds lovely. I am so excited to have had you guys on. You're wonderful guests.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And I also am so excited to go to these shows. I'm absolutely going to go.
Great.
And
so you can buy tickets online at ZEITERION.org.
Oh, I didn't have that one up.
Yep. So you can buy tickets online at ZEITERION.org. You can call the box office, which is 508-994-2900. Or you can stop in because the in-person box office is open. That's Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5, 684 Purchase Street in downtown New Bedford.
And is there a link off your website as well to purchase?
Yes. So
okay,
if you go to our website, right at the top, you'll see the banners. You can click on any one of those, and it'll bring you right to the site.
All right. That's perfect. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. It was incredible meeting both of you. And,
likewise.
You're going to see me. I'm going to be showing up all the time now. Not going to be able to get rid of me.
Can't wait to see you.
Great.
All right, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I have to do this one by one. Oh, we're still here. Okay. Hi, Wendy. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm so excited that you both got to meet Elizabeth and Wendy. And I hope you take the opportunity to go to their website, nbfestivaltheater.com, to check out the amazing shows. The first one on December 3rd. That looks exciting. And the 4th. So 2 holiday shows. I encourage you to go. And thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. All righty. Have a good night. Bye.